Don Combs for Soda Farm. I have a question for you today. Who owns your health? This is something that is pretty central to what I believe, how I formulate products, and how I interact with my customers and readers. Um, so I'll give you a for instance. My husband and I have been talking about working out, going to the gym, doing that together for some time. And I went ahead and signed myself up. And I've left it to him to sign himself up. And and that seems different maybe than what other people would do in their households. Um, maybe the wife would say, I've signed us up for gym and we're going. And the husband would just go along with that. The problem with that is there is no real change when someone else is telling you what to do, is telling you where to be and why. I want my husband to own his own health. So while I want for him, I want him to be healthy. I want him to be strong. I want him to be fit. There are obviously so many benefits for him and for me and for our marriage and our relationship if he were to just go to the gym. The thing is that we joined a local CrossFit gym down the street, and boot camp is at 5 a.m. If you don't own your health, if you're waiting for government or a doctor or some health expert that you've decided to trust, if you're waiting for them to always give you the instructions that then you can easily just follow, who's with you? How many of them are with you at 4:30 in the morning when your alarm goes off and you have to get up and get to the gym? There is no real health unless we are taking full responsibility, unless what we are doing for our health is our idea and we are in the driver's seat. And that's not to say that we can't take the advice of a doctor. We can't hear the sense in something that's been passed down, maybe in our society. We can't listen to our spouses. We can hear what they're saying, but at the end of the day, we don't change our lives. We don't own our decisions unless we take control. So my husband could very easily get up when my alarm goes off, and I could tell him to get dressed and I could put him in the car, and it's all my direction. It's all my energy guiding that. That's not going to really benefit him. He's not going to go after that last lunge that really hurts, um, or add on the weight that he didn't think he could do. He's not going to make true changes and true strives. He's not going to strive for better in his life unless he is being driven by himself in that decision. It's so critical to think about this, guys, because the changes that I had to make that are written up in Conceiving Healthy Babies, the changes that I had to make to be able to change my body, to be able to carry children, I just wouldn't have done it with somebody external to me saying, well, here's what you need to do. Uh, there were times when it was tough. The only thing that kept me going was the inner drive, the inner decision of me owning that decision and owning my body. How we proceed through our lives, the things that we choose to eat, the things we choose to not eat, the things that we choose to take part in, it all has to be driven from our own decision about our bodies. So I would challenge you today to sit down, find one thing in your life that maybe it's your weight, maybe it's working out, maybe it's your medications. Find that one thing, just one thing today, that you aren't really in charge of. Maybe you have a voice in your head that says, "Ooh, I don't really want to do this," or "I wish I were doing that," instead of what an expert that you've given power is telling you. Sit down and identify that one thing where you really need to step up and own your decisions and be in charge of, and write out a plan, because just deciding to do it isn't getting it done. My husband will have to decide that he wants to go to the gym on his own. He will have to register for that class, and he will have to lay out his own clothes and plan on how he's going to ensure that he is part of it and not just something that's being dragged along behind somebody else's energy. So I challenge you today, look up that one spot in your life where you may not be totally making the decisions. You do not need to be autonomous. You don't have to ignore the advice from other people, but you need to be driving that energy. You need to be driving those decisions and designing how you are going to proceed. Remember, real health happens one step at a time, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.